Hello there. It's truly a great pleasure to be here, diving into a conversation that holds immense significance for many of us. And I hope that you learn as much today as I did pulling us all together for you. So, today I'll be sharing with you something that I've realized quite recently, and I'm sharing it in the hopes that it will transform your own journey to success as a working mom. I'm calling it the new secret, and it's about what we're not told about working motherhood and what we can do about it to succeed in our own terms. So, I'm going to start us off here with a bang. The world doesn't know what to do with us working mothers. We don't fit into a predetermined box. We've tried to fit in. We really have. We've donned the power suits and the heels. We've networked with the best of them. We've broken through glass ceilings. We're breaking down glass walls and we've scrambled up broken rungs on ladders. And we're still underrepresented at the most senior levels in business. We've been told about the motherhood penalty, the motherhood track, the pay gap, the childcare crisis, which we feel. And these are the results of the world not knowing what to do with us. We challenge how work gets done, who does it, and where. And that's okay. In fact, I think it's exciting. It's time to shake up things in the world of work. And there are enough of us working mothers that we can do just that. The world doesn't know what to do with us, but we do, don't we? For those who are like me and like to know where we're going on this journey, here's what we'll be looking at. The why we struggle. We'll be looking at some of the truth about motherhood. We're looking at some of the challenges and changes. Then we'll be going on to what we can do about it. And my desire and my hope for you is that you will end up after the time we spend together feeling able to be more fulfilled, more balanced, and create that fun future where you succeed on your own terms. And as we start this session, I want to ask you a question. So, have you experienced the joys, the challenges, the roller coasters of becoming a mother while juggling the demands of a career? And if you're nodding along, you're in good company. But have you ever wondered why we struggle with this juggle? We're going to be shedding some light on that today, and we'll explore a concept that might sound a bit academic, but it is in fact deeply personal and relevant to all of us. First, a bit about me. Who am I? I'm an executive coach and I support working mothers to thrive in the clash between motherhood and careers. I'm here to make the world of work better through making it better for working mothers. Before I was a certified coach, I worked in corporate with an amazing 22-year career at a multinational company where I worked my way up from the front lines to the executive office and ended up leading a global business. So after leaving corporate, while my twins were in the throes of the terrible twos, I took some time out to decide what it is I really want to do. And I followed my passion and became double certified in coaching. And because of my background, I started working in my coaching business with senior leaders. But now I've transitioned into a space that's much closer to my heart, and that of supporting and guiding working moms to thrive in the clash of motherhood and career. I know how challenging it can be as a mother who works outside the home. We can get so busy doing everything for everyone all day, every day, that we forget about ourselves or put ourselves last. And in doing so, it can start to feel like we're disappearing from our own lives. And I'm here to change that. So let's dive in. So we know that working mom life can be tough. And we know that we struggle in the juggle of getting everything done. And often we feel like we're failing everyone, particularly ourselves. So I know that I've spent countless nights contemplating things like, what am I doing wrong? Why is this so hard? And maybe if I just did more and was better at it, maybe it would all fall into place. And the truth is that we live and we work within structures not designed for us or by us. We've experienced the structural challenges in workplaces that don't support us, from policies and procedures and promotions and work allocation. The world of work is structured to benefit those who can give the most to their jobs and their careers, the most effort, the most energy, and the most time. And that's not us as working mothers, right? We feel this pressure of trying to fit into that ideal worker model in this always on hustle culture. And it can feel really uncomfortable and leave us feeling stressed and stretched too thin. And business reports and leadership may bemoan poor female leadership representation, and they may talk about the financial and social benefits of diversity, but they continue to operate under the business as usual mandate. This forces us into the assumption that we as working mothers need to work harder to fit in. And at the same time, we feel the societal pressures, the pressures of the world around us to be the perfect mother. And sometimes we even feel like we're failing at achieving this fake motherhood ideal. And that can lead us to feel guilty as well. And the one thing that I've come to realize is that business and society is not equipped to deal with us, the working mothers. And as prepared as we are, sometimes we're also not 100% equipped to be a working mother in this modern world and feel successful. We've been fitting in for so long now that we can't see that there is a way that makes work better for everyone. And while motherhood is an enduring concept, it's always been around, it's still something that is not completely understood. And by this, what I mean is that if you look around, you'll see lots of information on the act of mothering and being a parent. But historically, there is not much researched, written about, or understood about what actually happens to the woman during motherhood. I believe that understanding this is what frees us up to become the person, the partner, the parent, and the professional that we want to be. And I believe that because we don't always understand motherhood, we ourselves can fall into the trap of undervaluing motherhood. And when we do that, we try even harder to fit into that ideal worker model. We don't understand that we were never meant to fit in. We need to understand these things for ourselves, that we can make choices that align our lives and our careers with what we want. We need to understand these things so we can thrive in our dual roles as parents and professional in a way that makes sense for us. I believe that as working mothers, we are here to shape the world of work for future generations, including our children. So, we'll be diving into something here that I believe will help you feel seen, heard, and understood in a new way. And because there's so little focus on the psychology and physiology of becoming a mother, it's expected that as working mothers, we'll get back to work as quickly as possible, whether we want to or not. They will handle the juggle. After all, mothers have been doing it forever, right? That will be the default parent, but also be judged when we prioritize our children and our families over our work. They will just bounce back after the baby. And most importantly, we think that we should be trying to fit into these designated places in the world without requiring anything else, without demanding more, or making anyone else feel uncomfortable. And in reality, there's no bouncing back. The pre baby you is transitioning into something entirely new. If I asked you to complete this sentence, motherhood is, what would you say? Motherhood is a joy. Motherhood is hard. It's confronting. It's wonderful. It's fulfilling. It's challenging. It's the best thing ever and the hardest thing ever. What would you say about motherhood? And of all of the things that you might say to me, I bet that there are two things that you probably wouldn't say. One is that motherhood is a complex neurocognitive developmental stage. And yet it is. It is all those other things as well, but it is also a complex neurocognitive developmental stage. We need to appreciate how motherhood changes us. And because it changes us, it changes how we approach our careers. So I think that we all know that motherhood changes us, but now we can understand and codify these changes and use this as the impetus to stop trying to fit in and start building what we need. And I believe that motherhood gives us an unfair advantage because it is also the largest personal development program you'll ever embark on. It provides us with the awareness, the motivation, the focus, and the willingness to develop ourselves. It provides us with the impetus for change. We have the best intrinsic motivation if we tap into it. We have the highest, best reason to re examine the way things are and focus on what's important. This is the unexpected gift of motherhood. There is no other motivation that goes higher or deeper for anyone in the world, and we have access to it on tap as working mothers. And here's what I didn't really understand or appreciate before becoming a working mother. I thought I'd pop out the twins, have a blissful 4-month maternity leave, which I know is a bit of a luxury in the world, right? And then I'd go back to work, all managed and magnificent, and just pick up where I left off. And even if I say, as I say that now, I know how laughable that idea is. So the question is, when do we become mothers? Until recently, I would have said it was when I gave birth to my twins. And yes, that's when I started to wear the title or label of mother. But becoming a mother is actually more than that. I love this quote. The moment a child is born, the mother is also born. She never existed before. The woman existed, but the mother never. A mother is something entirely new. So when you think back to when your child was born, people around you were most likely focused on the child rather than you. And there are plenty of resources on raising children and a lot of advice about being a good mother. But there's not a lot of understanding about what happens to a woman when she becomes a mother, of the depth and breadth and level of changes we go through without belittling or minimizing our experiences. And it's important that we understand what we're going through so that we can change and challenge our perspectives and the perspectives of those around us, both at home and at work. What I didn't understand before I had my children was, and it took me quite a while to figure this out, is that becoming a mother is a process. It's not a one and done situation. It's a process of ongoing change at every level: physical, social, mental, and emotional process of change, just like adolescence, even if it's nowhere near as well understood as adolescence. And it even has a name: matrescence. Now, this isn't a term we hear every day, and certainly I hadn't until fairly recently. But I do think it's a bit of a game changer for working mothers. And I'll explain what I mean over the time that we spend together today and what this means for working mothers. The medical anthropologist Donna Raphael first coined the term in 1973 to describe the process of becoming a mother. It has been the work of Aurelie Athon, and it has was brought into light more recently by reproductive psychiatrist Dr. Alexandra Sachs after her New York Times essay, The Birth of a Mother, went viral in 2017. But there are so many changes and challenges that we're facing, and it can feel overwhelming and lonely in this developmental process that we're going through. What the theory of matrescence tells us is that as we become mothers, we're going through radical changes, some shorter lived and some lasting a lifetime. There are changes to your physical body. There's the hormone shifts as we move through pregnancy and into the peri and postpartum periods. Then there are the emotional, social, cultural, and economic and identity shifts. And these can last a lifetime. So, becoming a mother is not just about giving birth, it's the process of becoming a new being. Much like adolescence, the process we're going through is one of change, one of settling into a new identity that encompasses everything that we are now. It truly is radical change. And as a society, we tend to want to minimize these changes, even those of us who are going through it. I think we don't realize that it's normal and expected, and we try desperately to be the same as before, not to be different or seen as less than because we're mothers, especially in the world of work. Why does this matter to you as a working mother? When we don't appreciate the depth and level of changes that we're facing as we move through the process of becoming mothers, especially working mothers, we can feel guilt about what we think we're doing wrong. We don't love every motherhood moment. We can feel shame when we're not endlessly patient and gentle parenting and being serene. And loneliness when we feel that we need to hide those parts of ourselves and when we have no time for what we need, including relationships outside of our children. And we can undervalue this process as a result. When we understand what's really going on for us, we can feel more peace and ease, knowing that what we're going through is normal and expected. We can have more understanding and self compassion for what we're dealing with. We can have more trust in ourselves and our abilities to navigate the path in front of us in a way that aligns us to who we are, not who we think we should be. Using matrescence as our guide, we can see that motherhood is a process of becoming. It's not just about baby showers and nursery decorations. It's about the profound changes, both expected and unexpected, that unfold within us as we step into the role of motherhood. For working mothers, this journey takes on a unique dimension. It's a delicate dance of deadlines and diapers, meetings and milestones, and of course, the moments of sheer joy and exhaustion that only a working mother can truly understand. And as this process of becoming is a hard one, and it puts huge pressure on us. This is something I came across. It takes 9 months to grow a baby. It takes 2 years to recover physically and emotionally from pregnancy, and takes up to 10 years to navigate matrescence, the process of becoming a mother. So if you haven't yet got this working mom thing figured out, especially in the world of work, and especially in the world that we're in, it's okay. We're all figuring it out. There is no manual for how to do this working mom thing. There's only what's right for you. There are 5 things that matrescence tells us that can really help us navigate what we're going through, can validate what we're feeling about and how we're thinking and feeling about ourselves and our lives and even our careers. These are important because once we know that these things are a normal part of the process, we can give ourselves the space and the grace to really start thriving and to stop trying to fit in, but give ourselves permission to chart our own path. These 5 things are that mixed emotions are normal. Matrescence recognizes that experiencing mixed emotions is normal and a common part of the motherhood journey. We may feel joy and excitement about becoming a mother and feel anxiety or even a sense of loss or grief about who we were before. Matrescence encourages us to embrace the full spectrum of our emotions, acknowledging that ambivalence that we may feel does not negate our deep love and commitment to our children. It's about giving ourselves the permission to feel what we feel without judging ourselves and build our own emotional resilience that way. To know that we do not have to love every single motherhood moment or apologize to anyone for our feelings. And we may have that deep love and connection with our children, but we may also have moments of doubt and questioning with all the challenges that parenthood brings. For me, this gave me the permission to stop pretending that I loved every moment of being a mother. I was able to let go of the idea that if I didn't love every moment, I was a bad mother. It empowered me to understand that I can love being a mother and a working mother and still dislike some of the moments, some of the elements, some of the things I had to do. And I could still be a good mother. The theory acknowledges that the process of becoming a mother often involves significant identity shifts as we navigate the balance between our pre-motherhood identity and this emerging identity as a mother and a working mother. And for some of us, this shift happens quite easily and quickly. And for others, like me, it might be more of a struggle to bring these two identities closer together into something that makes sense. Whatever your path, the change is significant and will impact all areas of your life, shifting priorities and needs into new spaces for you. Understanding the seismic shifts that we're going through helps us appreciate the stress that often arises when we strive to balance our roles as mothers with our pre existing roles, such as being a partner or a professional, or even just an individual with personal aspirations. And importantly, matrescence allows us to acknowledge the challenge of creating this new balance, along with the emotional complexity that comes with these adjustments that we're making in our lives. Matrescence also recognizes that societal expectations and norms around motherhood can contribute to the pressures we feel to meet external standards and conform to this idealized image of motherhood, and that these can be overwhelming unless we acknowledge them and create our own norms based on what's important to us. And lastly, matrescence underscores the importance of support and social support. Having a supportive network gives us a space for conversation, for understanding, and for validating our experiences. It's about creating your village in a modern world where we don't naturally have one. It's about knowing that no mother in history has done everything herself. Every mother in history has had support. And it's about defining what support you need to thrive. Once we start normalizing these changes and shifts and challenges, we give ourselves the space we need to be who we want to be. We give ourselves the permission to redefine success, to reframe what's important, to set the boundaries we need without having to apologize to anyone or feel guilty. We can stop worrying about fitting in and start building what we need to succeed and to thrive. So you're not going crazy. You're not being an emotional woman. You're not less ambitious or motivated. You're not less in any way. And in fact, you're becoming more. You're more focused on what's important in your life and for your career. You're more driven to get done what needs to get done. You're more attuned to emotions and feelings, which makes you a better leader. You're becoming more, and you're not alone. I believe that there is no one on earth more powerful than a working mother who understands herself, what she's going through, and what she needs. And it is this power that will help change the face of business for every other working mother, every other caregiver, and every other person. And for a lot of people, this is not comfortable to be around, but it is necessary to build the businesses of the future. And remember here that we're talking about the process of becoming a mother. It's not just about giving birth. We're facing changes at every level. And your matrescence journey will be different with every child that you have if you have multiple children, and can last up to 10 years or even a lifetime. And here's something else that you might not know. You're literally not the same person after you've had children as you were pre-kids. We've talked about how the birth of your children, we experience significant shifts in our physical bodies, our hormones, our emotions, socially, culturally, economically, and in our identities. We're in the state of significant change and growth that will leave us altered at the end of it, whether we wanted to or not, and whether we're ready for it or not. But expecting to be the same post-kids as your pre-kid identity with all the changes in and around you is not possible. And one key thing I had no idea about was how your brain actually changes when you become a mother. Because I'm going to get a bit sciencey here because I am a bit of a nerd at heart. But it's important that you know these things. So I came across this study in Science Direct. It's called Matrescence, the Lifetime Impact of Motherhood on Cognition in the Brain, which is a bit of a mouthful, but it was published in March 2023. So while there is limited research on what happens to women when they become mothers, this study highlights what we do know. So motherhood is a neurocognitive developmental stage. This means that the brain is primed to readily acquire experience-dependent skills and knowledge. So as you become a mother, and learn about your child and yourself in this new way, your brain is primed to learn with this new experience. It's a change that enables you to focus on this new and totally dependent being. It's not something you can get over in a few weeks or months of maternity leave, and it's not something that you bounce back from. The research shows that our brains change over the process of becoming a mother, beyond pregnancy and into the immediate post and partum and stages and into later life. So, in pregnancy, you're probably familiar with the term baby brain. And the study shows that there are some subtle memory defects, but probably due to a change in focus at that time. Then there's renormalization postpartum. And then when your children are in early childhood, there are cognitive improvements. Importantly, what this study talks about is the lifelong exposure to environmental complexity. This talks to the mental load that you carry, the challenges of managing schedules, dealing with society's expectations of you, managing motherhood and a career, being expected to be the default parent. All of these make up the environmental complexity that serves to change your brain. This environmental complexity means that you have more things on your mind all the time, which lead to some distraction, yes, and some preoccupation with your children, and also a reprioritization of what's important. And in the long term, this means that your brain is trained to deal with complexity, to be more adaptive and flexible. So, what does the science talk mean? In the long term, there are positive changes for your brain. The hippocampus, which is the brain's memory and emotion kind of headquarters, it gets a makeover. These executive functions, those skills for planning and multitasking that are so valued in business, they get upgraded and your cognitive reserve improves. This makes your brain more agile and makes it easier for you to improvise and find alternative ways of getting things done, solving problems, and coping with challenges. So while motherhood is tough and being a working mother is even tougher, there are positives. And there are positives for you, your family, and for business. So leaving the science alone for now, let's get back to the journey of motherhood, matrescence. I'd invite you now to think back on your own working mother journey to this point, the highs and the lows. And knowing that you've been simultaneously undergoing a biological, psychological, social, cultural, spiritual, and identity change, how do you think about yourself, your success, your progress, and your journey to now? Are you still hearing that mean mom voice saying, you should be doing better? Everyone else is managing fine. What's wrong with you? Or are you giving yourself some grace, some understanding, and yes, maybe even some forgiveness? It's all about unlearning what we think we should be doing and understanding and embracing what we want to be doing. It's about knowing ourselves, our families, and our children and curating what we want to have as working mothers. This means that everything that you're going through is real and valid. Every working mother is facing her own process of becoming. There is no one and done solution. Things change, circumstances change, our children grow, our careers change. It's important to know where you are and create your balance based on what you need now. The process of becoming a mother changes as your children grow and you'll face new changes and challenges. And it's different with each child that you have. And you are more and not less than because you're a mother and especially a working mother. And remember, I said at the beginning, the world doesn't know what to do with us. And it's because motherhood is a complex neurocognitive developmental stage. And we don't fully understand it right now. Sometimes it's easier to ignore what we don't understand. If we value the process we're going through, the changes and challenges we're facing, we can challenge what we've been told we should be doing. And as a working mother, you are uniquely positioned to do this because if we choose to, we can use motherhood as the most profound personal development program in the world. All of this makes us not less than, but more than. We are more capable, more motivated, more driven, more focused, and more ambitious. We are more ready to succeed in life and our careers. We just need to find a new way of doing this where we can chart our own course and break free of what we've been told we should be doing. We have to give ourselves permission to not fit into the mold we've been given and create something new for ourselves. And here's how to start. Here's what I call my 6x6 matrix. 6 things you can do for yourself and 6 things you can do for your career to help you thrive as a working mother. We start in the middle with you because your mindset sets up all of your success. First is give yourself some grace and understanding. You're going through an important long-term transition and change. Know what's important to you, where you are now, and know that it might change. Identify what you need. Is it social support? Is it flexible work arrangements? Do you need to manage or lower that mental load that keeps you up at night? Do you need to get additional help? Do you need to give yourself personal time outs? What do you need? Then know that you matter. As a mother, you are not replaceable. You are everything to your family. Don't underestimate your value and your worth. Find ways to prioritize. Things like the Eisenhower important urgent matrix can be useful here. So you decide based on importance and urgency what you will do, what you will plan, what you will delegate and let that go, and what you will delete. And remember here that you don't have to do everything. And lastly, build that community of support. It will make you stronger and more able to do what you need to do. So thinking about where you are now, how are you doing on these 6 elements? If you had to rank it from 1 to 5, 1 being low and 5 being high, how do you feel that you're doing across these 6 elements? What are you good at? And how do you feel about that? Where are you scoring yourself lower? And what's driving that? And how could you make a change? What are your scores as you think about this, showing you or telling you? When it comes to your career or your professional life, there's 6 things you can do for your career as well. The first is do a career audit. Where are you in your career? How do you feel about where you are right now? Redefine your career and goals and ambitions. You've changed since you started working. So take time to think about what you want your career to look like. Embrace your new skills and strengths. As a working mother, you have a whole new set of skills and strengths. How are you using these in your career? Look at where you work. Are you getting the right support? What is it that you need? Maybe think about parental leave and workplace policies. As much as your workplace needs to choose you, you also get to choose where and how you work. So make sure you're choosing what you need. Communicate your needs. This can be something we all struggle with, I know, but it's important to know what your needs are and find ways to communicate these to others, whether it's your partner, your friends, your family, or your boss. And embrace flexibility. As you go through the process of matrescence and deal with your own changes and those of your family, know that there are changes coming your way. So be prepared to be flexible in the solutions that you find for yourself. Take a minute to think about these 6 things on the same scale of 1 to 5, 1 being low, 5 being high. How do you feel that you're doing across these 6 elements for your career? Have you completed a career audit recently? Have you reviewed and redefined your career goals? How are you reflecting your skills and strengths? How well do you communicate what you need without feeling guilty or second guessing yourself? How much permission are you giving yourself to be flexible? What do these scores show and tell you about where you are and your career? So this is that 6x6 matrix. We do put you back into the focus here. Make you the center of the model because everything in your life, all of your success starts with you. So what will you be focusing on first? This is a starting point to thriving as a working mother. It's possible, and it's possible for you. And remember that it's okay to be different after you've had your children, and that spending time in this place of transition and change is not easy. There are 3 things I'd like you to remember about the process that you're going through as a working mother. It's normal and valid. The changes you're experiencing and will continue to experience are a normal part of the journey. It's time to normalize the range of emotions and experiences during motherhood. Self compassion is key. Know that you're going through change. It's important to be kind to yourself. So when your inner mean mom voice starts talking to you, think about what you say to a friend who's in the same position and think that for yourself. Your ability to navigate this complex life will be hugely impacted by how you treat yourself. So treat yourself kindly. And lastly, redefining success. As you work through your working mother journey, take time to consider how your definition of success has and is changing. What was important 5 or 10 years ago might not be relevant for you right now. So give yourself time and space to define what success means for you now. In closing, know that this process of change, the process of matrescence, is not only a completed transformative journey for you, one that creates change at every level. It's also a testament to your strength and your resilience as you navigate the intersection of career and motherhood of yourself. It's a place of profound power where you can take charge of what you need and want, where you can help redefine what it means to be a working mother in this modern world. And the time is now. And in case no one's told you recently, you are doing a great job. As I close out the session, I'd like you to invite you to think about what was the most surprising thing you heard today? Which areas of your identity have most changed since you became a working mother? And what does being a working mother mean to you? What will you be doing differently from what you've heard about or learned about today? If you'd like more support on your own journey of becoming a working mother, know that I'm always here to support you. You can find me on LinkedIn, obviously, and book your free 30-minute clarity call. There is a link in my bio, and there will be a link on the page with this replay. And I've loved sharing this with you today, and I would like to stay in touch. So here are ways that you could work with me. I have free resources on the website and on LinkedIn. I have a short on-demand course that I will take you through, and I have one-on-one coaching programs, and I have a brand new offer for business, which is the Empower Her Leadership Catalyst. Everything I do is aimed at helping working moms to thrive. I do have two offers for you today. This is a special offer. So because you've watched this recording, I'm opening up 10 Balancing Brilliance Accelerator slots for one-on-one support. I'm dedicated to empowering working women. And I believe it's time to stop trying to fit these outdated models and molds and start redefining the world of work. So together we can break through the barriers, challenge the status quo, and create a professional and personal landscape for you where your own unique strengths and perspectives are acknowledged and celebrated. So let's transform the workplace into a space where you can thrive, lead, and inspire without compromising your identity or your values. I'm here to help you stop trying to fit in and start creating a new world of work. So let's transform the world together. We'll go through a customized one-on-one program where you get what you really want and need to feel balanced, fulfilled, have more ease and peace, and hopefully a bit more fun in your life as well as you manage that juggle struggle of the modern working mom life. It's a 6+2 deal where you get customized and personalized support in 8 coaching sessions. We dive into where you are, what's going on for you, what you need both personally and professionally, and you walk away with your personal Thrive plan and your Working Mother Manifesto that will support you on your own journey as a working mother. This is a discount from my normal program rates, as I really want to be able to support you and celebrate you for showing up and showing up for yourself today. If you want to know more about this offer, there is a link on the page where this video is playing. So you can click on that to find out more, or you can get in touch with me. If you're not quite ready for one-on-one support yet, but you want more support, I have got a Balancing Brilliance Launchpad. So if you're a career-driven working mom trying to navigate that daily juggling act between career and family and finding yourself overwhelmed, exhausted, and stretched too thin, then this on-demand training is just for you. It's self-paced, and it's on demand. It's got 4 videos, 4 downloadable workbooks, 16 tools for you to use to create your own balance, to get you what you want and need as a working mom. The content is targeted and focused on what you want and need, and the videos are only an hour long in total. So we get straight to the point because I know you don't have a lot of time. It's only £97 for the program. And there's a link on the page so you can go find out more about that as well. And it's all automated, so you can click on it today, get it today, start today. So I hope I'll see you inside the Balancing Brilliance Launchpad, or I will see you in one of the 10 slots I have for the one-on-one support. I love to chat to fellow working moms. So here's how you can get hold of me. I am all over social media. I really do want to talk to you and find out more about you. So please do get in touch. I'd love to know what you liked about what you learned today, what was surprising, or if you have any questions, please do reach out on any of these platforms and let me know. And don't forget, you can book your free 30-minute clarity call with me as well through any of my platforms. I've really enjoyed my time here today, and I'd like to thank you for your time, your energy, your attention, and your focus during this time that we've been together. We've been through a lot of information, and once again, I'm here. If you have any questions, please do reach out. And here's to building a world where working mothers thrive.